Hi, it's me again. Alright, so here's our second video. I'm just going to zoom in to show you how beautiful it is today. It's really nice. When it gets cloudy, it makes the mountains look different. It's like more lush and green when it gets cloudy. When it's sunny, they look different, but when it's cloudy, they look more lush and green. I'm not sure why, but it's like that. Alright, so anyway, in this blog update, I'm going to talk about why prostitution needs to be legalized. Alright, here's the thing. There's a lot of guys out there, alright, and they're dating a woman, taking her out to fancy restaurants, you know, and these women a lot of times are like gold diggers. A lot of these women are gold diggers. They're just using guys to go to fancy restaurants. And these guys will take this woman out to like a fancy restaurant 5 times before they have sex, or 3 times before they have sex. Guy just spent like $500. And then this woman gets real arrogant. She thinks she's a princess because this guy's spending all this money on her. Alright, once prostitution gets legalized and it gets mainstream and a massive prostitution industry needs to be legalized in this country. And once we do that, men will not have to like do this fancy restaurant, gold digging, dating bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna have to date these gold digging whores, taking them out to these fancy restaurants, spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars per date, spending thousands of bucks just to get some pussy. They ain't gonna have to do that because they can go to the whorehouse instead. They can go to the Victorian house instead. They can have 2 women at once for like $500. They can get the sex right away. They just go to the Victorian whorehouse on Friday night. They get their paycheck. They go Victorian whorehouse Friday night, get the sex with 1 or 2 or 3 ladies at once. And then the second they do that, the very next day, Saturday morning, they can come out to the mountains and go hiking all day long. They can come to the mountains and go hiking. Or if it's wintertime, they go to the ski resort. If it's wintertime, they can go to the ski resort. So what that does is that will lower women's hypergamy dramatically. It will lower their hypergamy dramatically. We already got a lot of these women, especially college women, are basically whores. I mean, that's basically what they are. They're basically whores, you know, riding the cock carousel. Probably had sex with 50 or 100 guys, who knows. But that's basically what they are. They're whores. So they can just work at the whorehouse, you know what I'm saying? They can get paid to be a whore at the whorehouse. The cat house, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing about it is that the good woman will see that. You know, they'll see that, and then they won't want that to be their life. So the millions and millions of good women that want to get married and have kids, they will not want to be prostitutes. So what they would do is they will keep their man happy. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep their man happy, and they'll be good to their man, and they'll keep their man happy, and that will help the family. That will help the family and help marriage rates. You know what I'm saying? And that needs to be done. You know, it's hard to explain this, but I think you get what I'm saying, is that when prostitution is legalized, it will make it very easy to get sex. Because right now, a lot of guys won't go to a prostitute because they're scared they're going to lose their car. They're scared it will be a setup or a sting, and then they'll lose their car. So they kind of like don't go to prostitutes because they're scared they'll lose their car, because that's what they do in a lot of cities. If you have sex with a prostitute, they'll steal your car. The authorities will steal your car. It happens all the time. So a lot of guys won't have sex with prostitutes because they're scared they're going to get their car stolen. You know what I'm saying? So when prostitution gets legalized, that will be awesome, because then you won't have to worry about your car getting stolen. You can just legally go to the cat house, just legally have sex with 1, 2, 3 women at once, do what you have to do, get the sex you need, pay the money, and then you can just leave. And it's great because you don't have to take these gold diggers out on these fancy dates. You don't have to take these gold diggers out and whining and dining them just to get a little sex. You don't have to deal with all that bullshit. You can just go to the whorehouse, pay the money, get your sex, leave the whorehouse, and the very next day you can be hiking in the mountains. The very next day you can go to the ski resort. The very next day you catch a plane ticket to Alaska or Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to deal with these gold digging whores. You don't have to deal with all the bullshit. You don't got to deal with all that bullshit. So that will basically put these gold digging whores out of business. You know what I'm saying? These gold digging vipers, snakes that are demanding guys take them to $300 restaurants, and they're demanding guys take them to $200 restaurants, and they're demanding all this fucking shit. They're demanding all these diamond rings and all this fucking bullshit. Those women will be put out of business. They'll be put out of business because guys will just go to the cat house and they'll have sex with prostitutes instead, because it's much cheaper and it's much easier and it's much less bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's easy, it's quick, there's no bullshit, there's none of these gold digging games, none of that bullshit. It's just a better deal. And another thing about it that's really good is that when the guys go to the Victorian cat house to have sex with prostitutes, they can get it done in a few hours or all night long. If they want an all night long package, they can get the all all-night long package. And then the next day they can go skiing, they can go hiking. They don't got to deal with all these dating bullshit with like 5 different gold digging whores, dealing with all that dating bullshit, spending thousands and thousands of dollars on these gold digging women. They don't got to do that. Just go to the Victorian cat house. They can get the sex they need, be done with it, leave the cat house, go to the casino, go to the bar. Shit. Sorry, I just fell. Sorry. They can go to the bar. They can do whatever they want to do. Go skiing, hiking. And they don't have to waste a lot of time and waste all the money on these dates. And then the woman, the gold digging whores, the gold digging woman, they'll basically have their hypergamy put in check. Their hypergamy will be put in check. And then the good woman will see this, and they'll have a big incentive to be a good woman. There'll be a big incentive to be a stay-at-home housewife and protect the 2 children. These women will have a big incentive to be a good woman with this system. You know, back in the old days, you look back like 1850s and even like 1940s, I believe, there was lots of prostitution. And the family was stronger back then. You know why the family was stronger and divorce rates were like less than 10%? You know why? You know why? Very few women divorce raped their husbands back then. Because prostitution was tolerated and it was somewhat legalized back then. And it was definitely tolerated. If it wasn't outright legal, it was definitely tolerated. They had prostitutes in cat houses, and they had red light districts in like cities all over the country. Literally, it was very common. And because of that, the good women were good because they didn't want to end up at the cat house. They did not want to end up at the prostitute house. So they were good women, and they took care of their man, and they took care of their children, and they were good mothers, and they were good wives. And that's what we need to do again. We need to legalize prostitution so the good woman will see that, and then they'll be good. They'll be good, and they'll be good wives, and they'll be good mothers for their children. That's what we need to do. That is exactly what we need to do, folks. So I just want to make that blog update real quick.